Let this agenda be New York's Declaration of Independence.
That was Governor Andrew Cuomo back in December last year when he had high hopes for legalizing recreational marijuana in New York State.
Let's legalize the adult use of recreational marijuana once and for all.
Democratic control of the state Senate seemed to make legalization inevitable, promising a windfall in new tax revenue. Though right now the move to legalize is facing fierce opposition from elected officials.
It has become very clear that when it comes to the legalized sale of marijuana in Nassau County, now is not the time. In terms of how this would affect our residents, I've concluded that right now, its costs would outweigh the benefits.
Next door in Suffolk, legislator Robert Trotta is poised to resist legalization.
It's only projected to get about $1 million, and there might be a lot of social problems that will cause much more than $1 million. So I don't look at this as an economic issue at all. It shouldn't be an economic issue. I mean, we're talking about the government getting into selling marijuana, which I don't think generally is a good thing at all.
Trotta is sponsoring a bill to prohibit the retail sale of pot in Suffolk County upon filing in Albany. The benefit of legalization? The state comptroller's office estimates $300 million in annual tax revenue. Meanwhile, opponents of legalization have cited traffic safety statistics in Washington, which legalized the drug in December 2012. Reports reveal fatal traffic crashes involving drivers who recently used marijuana doubled following legalization.
Until we have every bug worked out, I don't think it's a good idea at all, period.
10 states have now legalized recreational marijuana for adults over 21. 33 states have legalized medical marijuana. Suffolk County has one medical marijuana dispensary in Riverhead called Columbia Care, right across the street from the Department of Motor Vehicles, which classifies driving high as a criminal offense.
Marijuana intoxication has been shown to reduce reaction times, which could pose a risk to the community if folks are driving under the influence of marijuana. I would say that marijuana sometimes serves as an introduction to drug culture.
Opposition and uncertainty have pushed the governor to postpone legalization.
District attorneys still call up and say, I have a problem. The sheriffs still call up and say, I have a problem. The police departments still call up and say, I have a problem.
Governor Cuomo was not always so bullish to legalize. Politico reported the governor calling pot a gateway drug just 2 years ago. This reporter caught up with the governor the other day on Long Island. Do you think that pot being legalized will make our roadways more dangerous?
It depends how the pot is legalized. You know, there are many controlled substances that, if they're not controlled, would and do make driving more dangerous.
Proponents of legalization remain determined and say it's time for the laws, which are not evenly enforced, to change.
I think we strongly need to move away from punitive approaches, and it is time, it is beyond time for Long Island Democrats to stand up with their communities who support legalizing marijuana. And I grew up on Long Island. I grew up in Hicksville. I also have lived in Syosset and other places in Long Island. And I've seen it firsthand what criminal justice policy looks like for white kids and what it looks like for poor black and brown kids.
We've tried to do this for 7 years. And it's not that Democrats are immune to the concerns of law enforcement. I believe there is a wide divide on marijuana.
Democratic advocates pushing for the legalization of recreational marijuana will revisit the issue in the upcoming legislative session this June. Reporting from Stony Brook University, I'm Danielle Tomlinson.